We have a fantastic group of folks here today to talk about the membership growth strategy. And that's so important for us to grow Rotary. We have to know how to do it. And that's what these folks are going to talk to us about. So without further ado, let me introduce you to the person who's going to be the moderator. So you don't have to listen to me all the next few hours here. So Tom, take it away.
Well, thank you, Lloyd. It's so great to be here with all of you today. And I'm so excited. I'm passionate about growing Rotary membership and using this tool that not many people in many zones use is exciting to me. And learning how the clubs actually use it to grow Rotary is something that I think we're going to learn a lot from and we could take back. So we have some wonderful seasons experts on the call tonight. We have Alex Johnson, who's our RC, and we have Aaron Caldwell, and we have Zach Aarons and Christy Vandenberg. And they are going to spend a little bit of time telling you what their experiences have been with the Membership Olympics. And then we're going to ask them some questions. And then there'll be an opportunity for you all to type into the chat question section any questions that you have. So we're going to start with Alex tonight. So Alex, do you want to give us a preview of what to expect?
Definitely. Thank you very much, Tom, and for being our moderator, and as well as everybody else, all of the panelists. First, I'd like to talk about the subject today is the Membership Olympics. And what makes the Membership Olympics so significant is that they grow clubs. It's a club initiative that retains members as well as grow, but really it's the best practices on how a Rotary club can retain its members. And what's really powerful is that it takes these membership activities at the club level and it allows clubs to get excited about it. Everybody likes being part of something that's good for Rotary. So what we like to do is have them go ahead and be excited about helping membership. And so when districts offer a competition, then it gets the clubs excited about competing and being number one. Even though it's not about beating another club, it's nice to be recognized. And so that is why it's really exciting for clubs to be involved in each individual member, because the different activities within the Membership Olympics, different members could take responsibility for it. And that's what makes it powerful. This is a club member initiative that allows that club to reach out to their members, to encourage the members to be involved, to express what's important, and then be part of the solution in helping that club retain and then grow their members. So it's such an exciting thing. And something I'll point out, the districts that had Membership Olympics, those are the districts that have a gain in membership, and the clubs that complete the games of the individual Olympics, they're the clubs that have a positive gain in membership. So it's a quantified outcome that everybody's excited about.
Well, that's fantastic, Alex. And it's great that it's been proven. You have a proven quantity. So, and I understand that it's exciting, but can you tell us what the key elements are to make it exciting?
Well, what makes it exciting is it helps a club know what to do. A lot of times we hear all this, well, you should do this, you should do this, but we don't tell what to do. We just talk about you should grow membership. Well, from being, a lot of us on this call, we've been past presidents of clubs, so we know that's not only the most important job in Rotary is being a club president, but it's also the hardest because you're involved, as a weekly meeting, you've got interactions with your board, with your club members, and sometimes you just need some direction. So what makes it exciting is it's really basic. Like, hey, get a membership chair. If you don't have a membership chair, that means you're either not looking at your members or helping them, or it's the president doing it. And I always think of the membership chair as like your HR director. That's the one who's talking to your members, finding out what's going on, creating activities for them to be excited about being in your club. Well, that's like game number one. Then number two, have a goal. Hey, what we want to do is have a +1 in membership this year. Well, that's something to gain. That's something to be excited about. That gives people a direction. So what makes it exciting is the Olympics give clubs distinct things to do that are simple. Like number one, get a membership chair. Number two, have a goal. Number three, survey your club. That's actually the secret. If you survey your club, then you find out what challenges and issues and what they want to do. And if you know what your club members want to do, then you know what to do. If you don't survey your members, then you're just like driving down the street with blinders on. You don't know where to go. But if you survey your members, it tells you where to go. So then it's just a matter of the club leadership to do it. Not really club leadership. It's the club members do it, because the clubs are about the members. And so as you go through each of the elements of the membership Olympics, it gives clubs distinct activities for what to do, how their members can participate and get excited about keeping their friends in the club and then getting more new friends in your club.
Well, that sounds great. So we know it works. We know how to get people excited about it initially. But what can we do, Alex, to keep them consistently engaged with it and not get excited and then lose that excitement?
That's a great question. Like anything, a lot of us in Rotary, we had our outside of Rotary life, like we're in business or we're in organizations. And every organization, you got to have a plan. You want to document your plan and then achieve the plan. So in terms of the Olympics, it gives you like 5 or 6 things to do. We'll document it. And I've seen some clubs, they have like a chart that they bring to all their meetings. So as they complete different elements of the Olympics, they have it check off and they celebrate. Hey, everybody, we got a membership chair. Awesome. Look, this is the goal. We've set the goal. This is what we're all about. So when they talk about it in front of the club, they know the whole club gets behind it. It's a nice structure and it can be tracked. All right, when do we want to have our survey? Get the club members involved and being excited about participating in a survey. Then what's really important, when are we going to talk about our survey results? So then the club is excited about that. And so what you do is, if you have this plan, articulate it to the club, they know the steps, and to get the club members behind it, because you don't just want your club president and your membership chair to do it, you want your club members to do it. So it's a team effort. And then you just track it and celebrate as a team. So that way, the whole club's behind it, they are executing it, and then as they achieve, like we talk about doing a separate meeting to talk about the results of the survey. So, and then ask the clubs, hey, when we surveyed the club, these were the top issues. What do you think we should do about solving those issues? Get the club engaged in this solution. And then people are going to come up with great ideas. Then say, who would like to be a part of the solution? Because we always know either you're part of the solution or you're the problem. Well, Rotarians are part of the solution. We're people of action. We just have to ask our club members to be a part of it. So when they know they could be a part of what's going to make the club better, what's going to retain their friends, they're going to do it. Then one of the other areas of the Olympics, that's the easiest thing. And it's, well, let's do something other than a club meeting and a fundraiser. That could be either leadership development. It could be a service project, definitely a service project. Our motto is service above self. So at least schedule a service project. You know what the easiest thing to do? My club does this. We have a monthly happy hour. In fact, my wife, who's the social chair, she schedules it, is at some restaurant, everybody shows up, they just hang out. It could be, sometimes it's been 3 people, sometimes it's been 20. It's something other than the meeting to get everybody together. Well, that's one of the steps in the Olympics, have an engagement event. So if you talk about all these things, let the club know it. You could have a chart so people could see what we've accomplished. Let the club members be a part of the solution and accomplishing things. That's going to get them excited, going to get them engaged, and you're going to reach the goal as a team, because the team, the club, is what it's all about. Rotary starts and ends with the club. And so that's why the Membership Olympics is the best tool that I know of to get a club to retain its members, and it also allows you to grow as well.
So, Alex, is there a chair in most clubs, or is there a team? How does that work?
It always starts with the membership chair. That's the first game of the Olympics. So if your club does not have a membership chair, find somebody to do it, and you just accomplished the first game. Woohoo! You have succeeded. That's got to get you some award. Well, then hopefully that membership chair has people on the committee, because the committee of one is exhausting and it's a burnout. So to answer your question, Tom, ideally get 2 or 3 other people that want to help deploy the Olympics within your club. And that could be somebody that's going to reach out to members. That could be somebody to send an email. That could be somebody to keep track of it. Ideally, it's always better to do things in a group. I know a lot of times people would rather do it themselves, but that's not Rotary. We are people of action. We are a group of volunteers that want to change the world. So that's why, to answer your question, they should have a committee, a small committee, to help deploy the Olympics and get all the members involved.
Wonderful. And if people want to have more information after this webinar, are there things on the website, Zone 25B, 29 website that can help them?
That is a great question. One, everybody on this webinar received the email talking about once a month. The zone Rotary coordinator team sends out an e-blast that talks about it. In that e-blast, there's a link. It's called Gold Membership Plan. That is all the steps of the Membership Olympics for a club to do. Even if your district doesn't have the Olympics, if you click that link, you'll get the PDF so you could actually download it and do it as a club. Because even, like I said, even if your district doesn't do it, a club can do it. These are the best practices for a club to retain its members. So that Gold Membership Plan, click on that. Or just what Tom said, if you go to the Zone website, you could also download it. There's one of the downloads is the Membership Olympics. And honestly, the best solution is for you to go to your district membership chair. They are well-versed in the Membership Olympics. We know we have one of them on, Aaron Caldwell's a district membership chair for his District 5630 in Nebraska. He's one of our panelists. All your membership chairs know about the Olympics. They're well vested, they're well educated, and your district membership chair is your best source, and they will help your club grow. They are actually the unsung heroes of Rotary, district membership chairs. I love them all.
And we need them for sure. Well, thank you. We now know a little bit about the Membership Olympics. We know we have to get them excited and how we get them excited. So I was wondering if Zach, if you could come on the screen and if you could tell us about the competitions themselves.
Yes. Hello, everybody. Thank you for taking the time to be part of this call. This is exciting. This is the kind of stuff that really just builds excitement and enthusiasm in our club. So we hope you can take this back to yours as well. I'm in Topeka, Kansas. Our club, before the Olympics that we just completed, we had about 130 members. Now we are at 140. We just finished our last Rotary year, last week, a couple weeks ago, at 140 members. And we actually, on Thursday, when our club meets, we are welcoming our first new member of the new Rotary year. So we've got this great momentum. And as Alex mentioned, I think that's the big piece that we're seeing going into the Olympics, is it really does create a momentum that isn't just for the first year, one and done, but something that through the leadership transitions and as you go into the new year to really build that momentum for the club, because the more Rotarians doing good and making a difference, the more impact we have on the world. And so we've seen just that. So I'd like to talk just a little bit about competition and to encourage kind of that friendly competition among all of us as Rotarians. So to begin with, we want to make sure that what we have done is meaningful, right? We want to be intentional in the planning. It's one thing just to say, hey, let's go grow membership, but why, right? We know that if we can keep good members, we can affect more positive change. We can live out the 4-way test. We can make an impact globally. And so that is our why. And that is the fundamental reason why we do what we do. So there's really 3 areas that I've seen competition and I've seen it be fun and pretty successful. Through membership contests is one of those areas. And so that's everything from a Bring a Friend challenge where we have a certain time, a certain meeting of the month. We meet weekly in person that we might say, okay, on the second Thursday of the month, we're going to bring a friend. And so we ask in between those meetings, hey, who do you have? Who would be a great Rotarian who's has a heart for service or who's passionate about really awesome programs. So bring a friend challenges. Alex talked about it a little bit, but the importance of, I'll call it a leaderboard. We know that what gets measured gets done, and we keep it really top of mind. This is something that is so important because we've seen the success and the impact that we want to keep it going. And so before our club meets, we have a PowerPoint that runs on some TV screens that talk about these are our membership goals. And these are some of our leaders that are making these things happen. You know, one of the goals that we submitted for this year and we've submitted in previous years is we want to have multiple Rotarians being the sponsors for our new members, because it really takes everyone out there encouraging people to join our club. The other tool that we've used when we think about membership contests is the idea of membership bingo. And so again, you can have different categories that you look at to encourage participation. Bring a guest, bring a friend to join, someone attends. If you experience us, you're going to want to be part of it. It's pretty addictive. And so that's something we've encouraged. And then sometimes I know other clubs have done raffles, which are kind of fun, and done some card games as well, just to encourage people to continually go. Some other friendly competition we've done is a referral program where we've looked at different categories or different areas of passion. You know, I think about our focus areas of Rotary. Is there someone that is connected in the community to one of those areas, and would they be stronger and make a greater impact if they were part of Rotary? And so we look at people that have those different areas and those passions, and we try to create referral lists that we can follow up with. The third thing, and I think this is fun, and that is these themed recruitment events that we have. So we talked about it similarly to, I think other clubs have done this, club in a pub, right? So you don't have to be a Rotarian. You could be a prospective member of the club to come join us and just see what we're all about. You know, that we're fun people making a great impact. We love being with each other. Sometimes you can have a service project that we encourage other people that are like-minded but yet not part of Rotary to spend some time and work alongside doing a great service project with us. We go to different places in the community. So at our fifth Thursday, which happens to be in August, we do a social. And this social will be at a Children's Discovery Center in Topeka. So it's not where we normally meet, but it's going out in the community, doing something fun and inviting other people to join us. Finally, a rooftop social. You talk about something cool. Downtown Topeka, recently revitalized. We had a Rotarian that opened up his cool rooftop. We had some awesome food and drinks and just some great fellowship, and really enjoyed our time together. People down on the street were kind of looking, saying, who is this cool group of people? And that's one of the things, you know, when you get out into the community beyond where you regularly meet as a club, people just really get to see the impact and the camaraderie that Rotary brings about. And so four-way test, always apply it when you're thinking of the meaningful competition, and just have a lot of fun and measure the results.
Well, that's wonderful. And I can see all my trips to Kansas, I've always had a good time because everyone's always doing something.
Yes.
Even after the events, they're going bowling or they're going out to eat. So it's always fun. So my question is this. You know, my wife's club, when they do fundraising, they break the club, they divide it up into two, and they pick two very engaged members, and they have competitions in groups. Is the membership Olympics only single individuals competing against single individuals, or do you ever have group competitions?
Right. So there are times where we can have different groups, you know, that can work together, you know, and I think you bring up a great point. We really look at it as the camaraderie of the whole, right? And we even think about it in the sense that some of our communities have more than one Rotary club, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our goal is to grow the impact of Rotary, right? It doesn't matter if they end up attending our club or if they attend another club in the community. I think what's bigger is being reminded that now they're part of something great that can make a tremendous impact in the world. And so we look at the competition even among the clubs that we have in Topeka as we just want to get them in Rotary because it changes lives. And so that's one of them. The other piece is looking at it that we are all inclusive, that we don't want to isolate, because the other piece, when we talk about new member growth, we're also very mindful of retaining members. We want it to be an impactful, meaningful experience for those that we have. I talked about how we gained a net of 10 new members last year. Well, there were a few folks that moved away, and unfortunately, you know, one that passed away. And so you lose good members. And so it's important to keep those that we have. And the way that we do that is we really can build that unity and working for one goal together.
So many times when we visit clubs, Zach, we raise hands and say, how many of you brought in new members? And when
Mhm.
you do a deep dive into these clubs, it seems like there's always just a few individuals who are bringing in all the new members.
Yeah.
Does the Membership Olympics help with that?
It really does. You know, one of the things that we didn't formally have before we just really got deep into the Olympics was a larger membership committee. And, you know, being able to get more people involved, that it's not just the membership chair, it's not just the club president, but membership growth really is everybody's, something that everybody can be involved in one way. And it may be just as small as having someone at the door that serves as a greeter, right? That welcomes a prospective member and welcomes our current members. You know, the goal is to be collaborative when we work together on these different pieces. The other thing that I loved is we were unified as a club, and we still are, because we knew what the goals were. You know, it wasn't something that, you know, on the first meeting of the new year, the president lays out the goals for the year, and then we close the binder and put it on a shelf. But it's something that's top of mind, you know, through the leaderboards, through the competition, through celebrating our success. We celebrate the success of individuals and as a group, and a lot of those celebrations come through stories.
Mhm.
Being able to share, hey, I joined Rotary because I'm passionate about this area, and through Rotary, I can do even more. And so we have done our member spotlight. We've also given as an extra added value, if you will, to new members, being able to share their Rotary why. And that's pretty powerful as well, because number one, you learn something about a new member that you didn't know before, but you also say, hey, I'm passionate about those things too. And we build those deeper relationships among the friendly competition.
Zach, I'm so happy to hear this. You know, in Rotary, we often talk about membership's important. And of course, our Article 5 of our policies say it's our number one internal priority, with polio being our number one external programmatic priority. But so many times when you're in a situation, you're in a club, there's so many things going on with projects, we don't talk about membership. So I'm glad to know that there is a leadership board and those kind of things. So tell us, is the leadership board, is it electronic? Is it a newsletter? Is it a foam core board in front of the room? When you say it keeps them in front because of the leadership board, tell me a little bit more about that.
So it comes in a couple areas. The one that's in front of everybody all the time is we do our PowerPoint that runs before our meeting starts. And we have our goals and celebrating our success of where we're at. And it's not just about members, but what members are doing, right? So our service project, and we do that through photos. We have a pretty robust social media presence as well, to let those that are in our club, but also those that are looking for a way to serve, to maybe join what we're doing. But then also giving updates and reports, and again, celebrating those successes. What we find, I mean, we've had about 12, 13 members where you have some of the churn, but when you have a net of 10 new members, basically you're almost at least once a month constantly celebrating, hey, we've got a new member. And that it creates so much excitement. And with our new member orientation that we complete, you know, those folks are usually the best ambassadors. Hey, they just joined Rotary. They think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, and it is. And then they want to invite people. And so we see that good momentum, and that's really what you want, is you want that momentum that all starts really with having that committee. And then I think plugging into some of the things that RI offers, you know, at the RI level, but also, you know, through our districts as well. There's a lot of great membership tools that are pretty plug and play. And I think that's helped as well. I think the Membership Olympics is very plug and play. It as a president, it makes your job a lot easier, because you don't have to invent the wheel, the Rotary wheel. It already exists. And so you just take it and run with it.
Well, it sounds like the Membership Olympics is the answer, so that's great. I love it. And I love the fact that everyone's working on it. You're constantly thinking about it. But how do you keep the competition friendly and keep it inclusive?
So, you know, I know I keep saying this, but it's so true. You know, keeping the big picture, keeping the four-way test in the forefront of our minds. You know, why are we doing this? What is the goal, right? The goal is to create a meaningful experience for current and prospective members, so that we can change the world, so that we can do more service projects. And so keeping that in mind is big. Not creating any divides, right? it's good to have teams, but we're all one team. And I mentioned it earlier, but I think this is a big piece. We're not competing against other clubs, other Rotary clubs, right? We want to be able to encourage someone to join Rotary. And wherever that works best in their schedule or their interests and things like that, that's where they need to go. And so also not saying, hey, we fell short of this goal or that goal, but celebrating every incremental success and allowing people, as I mentioned earlier, to tell and share their story. That's huge. It's more powerful when members share their firsthand experiences than having someone that's always standing at the microphone relay those messages.
Well, I think we know now much more about the friendly competitions. Now, if we go back and implement this in our clubs, what are the first two we should do? What are the first two competitions?
I think probably the first one is to invite a friend and you can start kind of low key with that, where we consider, who would be a good member and invite them. It's not rocket science. Our membership committee actually kind of spun around a little bit in the beginning, thinking of all these elaborate things that we can do. Hey, we can do this contest, or we can do this event, or, hey, Tom, like to come to lunch with me? That's it. And they see it and they experience it. So it starts with one, and it starts with one ask. And if someone says no, ask a couple people. I think that's the easiest place to start. It's so simple. And if everyone just did that, we would be there for it. I think the other piece is be present as a member yourself. You get what you get out, what you put into it as well. And so the more people learn about Rotary and the impact that it makes, I think the more connected they are. The other piece I think that's easy is take a look at some of the tools that are available. And look, what makes sense to you as far as what to implement. But the easiest one, just ask someone, just invite somebody. It's that easy.
Well, that's fantastic, Zach. And I will go to lunch with you because I know in Kansas they have great barbecue and because you
Absolutely.
seem like a great guy. So, and there are questions coming in for you, but we're going to try to get through the major material, then save the questions until the end. So Chuck and Maggie have some questions that are great questions you can answer later if you don't mind. So thank you very much. And we'd like to have Christy come in and talk about maximizing member engagement.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom, and thanks, Alex, and the rest of the panelists. And thanks to everybody who's online. How wonderful that you're getting this kind of showing. Membership Olympics. We've done it now in our district for 2 years, but as Alex said, it doesn't have to be done at the district level. I think it's exciting if the district will jump in, for those of you who have any kind of district stuff going on, simply because I think the district can add incentives for the clubs to participate. And as we said, I mean, we're just looking for something new other than just saying to a club, all right, can you just, get one more member this year? Okay, that'll be great. We don't give them ideas for how to make that work. And that's what the Olympics really is. I like the fact that there are samples out there of ways to make this your own. You don't have to do what the club 50 miles away does. You're going to do what works for your community. Every club is made up of different people and different things that will work. We've been blessed in our club to see a large membership increase this year as well. Part of that is because we started a service companion club. And what it did is it helped us stop the attrition rate within our club. We had several members who were changed jobs, just didn't work for them to meet at lunch anymore, but they were still really interested in the service component. So we put together one of those. Now, having said that, we are actively looking for ways to have that Service Companion Satellite Club work together with our clubs. So when we're going to do the Membership Olympics, it will be through both clubs. And there hopefully will be some, we're going to make things that are attainable by both clubs. I mean, it doesn't make any sense to set a goal that's so outrageous that everybody just says, we can't do that. Some clubs need a challenge, yes. We all know that people respond differently to challenges. When I look at engagement, I look at it starting at the president level. I think, yes, we need that club membership chair. I think they need an active committee. I think you have to look at the different levels as dealing with all of our biggest issues. Number one being recruitment, number two being retention. Doesn't matter if we get 10 new members if 15 walk out the door this year. So we have to look at both of those things, and the numbers are going to differ. If you've got a 350 member club, your numbers are going to look a lot different than a 25 member club in terms of what your goals are. You can make it a percentage, you can make it an actual number. You'd get to decide that. In terms of keeping clubs and members engaged, I will agree with Zach about having a leaderboard or some sort of tally. I think the single most important thing that we can do is to make sure we do announce the contest at the beginning of the year. And as Alex said, I think we need to get feedback. We have a pretty large club, so there's like 10, 12 tables in the room when we meet on any given meeting. I want to break into meetings and brainstorm at each of the tables and let them share feedback with the rest of them, and then come up with some things that we can all agree on in terms of the numbers, in terms of what we will call success. And then, yes, celebrate all year through. I think one of the things that we're looking at in our club is going to be ways to not just celebrate at the beginning of the year. We celebrate every time we get a new member. We celebrate every time someone brings in new members. And then we celebrate those milestones along the way that, okay, here we are. That's 3 months in, what have we done? And maybe we can have some individual contests with that. Again, if your district is running it, great, because they're going to celebrate. But let's celebrate at the club level too. It's not a secret that we're trying to get new members in our clubs. I'm going to go back to something when I first came into Rotary. I was a relatively new Rotarian, and I sat in a room and everybody had been saying, increase membership, increase membership, increase membership. And I thought, oh, okay. And then someone said, look at all we do with 1.2 million members. And followed that up with, think about how much we could do with 2.4 million members. And that just hit me. I mean, we've got service projects, and I always think we don't ever really tell people we have too many volunteers. We don't say that. We say we still need more. We still need more. It'll be great. And you know what happens when you have a lot of volunteers? There's a lot of networking and socializing, and that's good for retention as well as recruitment when we're looking at this. So I think it has to start at pets if you're looking. So at when this should start, I think it should start at president-elect training. I think your incoming president should already have a membership chair by now, and if they don't, get one. Get out there, recruit somebody to do this. I think you need to announce it at a meeting and come up with shared goals. And then whoever's running it, you got to get excited about it yourself. Be that example of someone who is excited about membership and what this can mean if we get more members. So there.
Well, that's great, Christy. So, what we need to do is we need to actually invite you to speak at our Pets Alliance next year about a thing to talk about when we're training the coordinators who put on our pets. So it seems like when you were talking about the Service Companion Club, that service is a big part of engagement. How often do you have to change the service project to make sure it keeps interesting, or do you do the same service projects again and again and again?
Well, we have some tried and true ones that, we are known for in this community, and we don't really want to lose that awareness of what Rotary does. Plus, we know they're still impacting, but I don't think that any club cannot go through some sort of an evaluation with their service projects to see if they're still relevant. And what's an unmet need? One of the coolest things that happened with a new member who came in April is, and she came into the Service Companion Club, and she emailed me and said, I have an idea for a service project. And I said, okay, what do you want to do? And she explained what she wanted to do. And I'm looking at what we did, and I thought, that's not something we've ever done before. But what a cool thing for us to get involved with. So it's a new service project for us for this year, and she's heading it up. She's recruiting volunteers out of other members who serve with her, and it's going to be a viable project for a long time. I also think that we lose opportunities to recruit members not only at service projects, but at fundraisers. You know, how many times have I been to a golf tournament where we got all these golfers who can get off on a Monday afternoon or a Friday afternoon or come in on the weekend, and who are leaders in our communities, and never once do we say to them, well, would you like to come to Rotary with me? You know, would you like to come? Well, I don't know much about Rotary. What a great thing. I've always thought at golf tournaments, we should have someone at least 4 to 6 tees who, as someone comes up, says, let me tell you one thing about the Rotary Club and why we'd like you to be a member. Let me tell you one thing. And by the way, we have applications back when you check out today. So I think we don't always use them. And I think, you know, Zach said, bring someone to a service project who's not a Rotarian. Let them witness firsthand. Let them witness not just how much enjoyment we personally get out of it or satisfaction that we personally get, but look at the faces of the people we serve. Have them get that feeling. Have them get that thank you directly from someone that has received one of our services. It'll make their day. And, you know, they're looking for something to do. This is a good way to do it. I happen to live in a retirement community. I live just outside of San Antonio, big retirement community. So when they talk about younger members in my club, we talk about people who are around 55. Those are the younger members in our community. They all retired to where we are. So go get them. Go get them. Ask them. You know, they've been working their whole life. They're now at a point where they can retire. They probably, before they fill it up with golf or pickleball, you know, go get them and get them engaged in Rotary and see what it is we can do and find out, you know, and this goes way back to spending some time with new members and finding out what their passion is. What are they passionate about and how do they fit into our club? Because if we can do that, we're going to really win on the retention end. I always think with a recruitment committee, you know, you should, if you got a Chamber of Commerce, set 5 people up to just go through the list of who's in the chamber and look for potentials. And then got 5 people on the committee. Each person makes a call to one person and invites them to Rotary. Even if you don't know them, just say, I'm with Rotary. We met. We think you'd be a great member in our club. Come visit us. I'll pay for lunch. You know, it doesn't cost that much. So those are the things that I think about. If you're looking at the district level, you really can get your AGs involved in helping to keep the excitement up. You know, not only have measurable goals, okay, by the end of, well, now we're going to say by the end of August or by the end of July, we want to do this. And by the end of August, we want to do this. Give yourself some short measurable goals instead of that bigger goal. You know, call all the people who haven't been to a meeting in 3 meetings. Find out what's going on with them. Make sure they're okay. Make them feel that someone cares about them at Rotary. So those are all things that I think are possible.
Well, thank you, Christy. I have such good ideas now, and I've been taking notes so I can take them back to my club. And I appreciate, I never thought of myself as a younger member until tonight, so that's great. And I love the idea about getting the district involved. You know, it seems to me, I've never thought about it before until this seminar tonight, but we do so many things successfully in raising money. And I think about my wife last year was at a TRF in her club, and she called up my club president and challenged her. I bet we can get a higher percentage of giving than, you know, her club than our club could. So it ended up, it really, we gave more and we gave a higher percentage of our members gave because my wife pushed that competition. So why not do it with membership? So
Right.
thank you so much for giving us so many things to think about.
You bet.
Yeah. So now we're going to move on to Aaron. And even after we're successful, we've done the competitions. It seems to me that we need to track to see how successful we've been. And if we have been successful, we need to celebrate. So Aaron, can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so first, Aaron Caldwell. I'm the 5630 district membership chair. So it's really interesting to hear a couple of different perspectives because we do the Olympics at a district level and we have incentivized it. And we do try to reward our clubs by going through the Olympics. And we've even taken the Olympics and we've put a couple of spins on a couple of the games because we're trying to grow. So we wanted to be very particular with what we're trying to get out. So if anyone wants me to talk about that, I can in a little bit. Here with tracking growth, I guess, at a district level. So this is more for any of the DMCs out there. You got to try and keep in contact with your club leadership, the membership chairs, the presidents. Try to come up with a good time interval. Monthly, probably not weekly, I would say, depending on what you're going after. If there's maybe short dated goals, physically track when these tasks are completed. So I've got an Excel sheet. It's got all of our clubs on it. It has all of our membership Olympic games on it. I basically check off the games as clubs get back to me. At a club level, I'd say give your members, use leadership, assuming we've got leadership watching. Give your members every opportunity to check in with them. Let them know that, hey, how's XYZ project going? How did this go with the couple of the prospective members that you've been looking for? Send out reminders. Keep it fresh in everyone's mind. It's, very easy. Life happens. Not that you need to bug everyone, but kind of bug everyone and make sure that everyone's keeping up to date with how the club's doing. Keep it fresh in their mind so that they're constantly thinking about it because this is something that we have to constantly address, especially when we're going to say grow, and then we hemorrhage members out the backside, so it's something that we need to be continuously thinking about. Celebrating success. We do it at the club level. We do it at the district level. This last year, I tried to do something a little bit fun to give our clubs a little pat on the back. When clubs would check in, I would take this breaking news background and we'd make social media posts, and we'd plaster the club's name on it, and we'd say such and such club completed this membership game and they took the lead, because we'd be constantly, and this is kind of ties into the competition thing. We were making this a competition between clubs, just friendly, but with incentives. So we'd do these posts and we'd say, this club just completed, this game, and we'd put some kind of a sports spin innuendo type thing on it just to kind of make it fun. And would keep track of who's in the lead and all that jazz. You can do that at a club level too. If you see one of your members are going above and beyond, give them a pat on the back. Do it publicly. Meet with them, tell them thank you, but do it in front of the club too. I think a thank you goes a long way. So whether that's a handshake or some kind of a gift, if you have special meetings, a business meeting, maybe the end of the year meeting. That's a really good way to celebrate individual efforts when it comes to this. As a club, have a social meeting, have something fun, do something fun, and absolutely celebrate when you guys get to check off these games. You know, go a little above and beyond because you should be rewarded, you know, for going through and doing these good things for your club. I kind of merge these together. Yeah, show them some appreciation. This year, so I'm currently finalizing some of the numbers with one of our clubs who apparently lost access to our DACDB, our district's way of keeping track of everything. So currently finalizing those numbers. I've got all of these dollar signs checks that we're going to be given to clubs for their incentives for this last year. I hope to actually be personally giving them. So we're doing a little bit of a celebration in that, trying to make plans to go to some of the meetings and hand them, you know, their checks. So if you or anyone in the audience, you know, if you're on the district level, consider putting a little personal spin on it too. We're going to hope to do that with a lot of our clubs because there's some clubs that they smoked it out of the park. And like I said, I'd be happy to share those numbers with you if you'd like at some point.
So, Aaron, in the chat box, Governor Jeff Horlacher talks about a bicycle ride that leaves Juarez, Mexico on July 19th and then comes to here at headquarters on July 30th. And he's talking about we should bring people out for that. Is that something we could do a competition around? They're coming through Topeka.
Sure. I don't see why not. So here's the really cool thing, and here's one of my opinions. I don't think it's a hot take, but with the membership Olympics, you know, assuming this is what you're talking about, you as a club or your district, you can alter the Olympics. Throw another game in. I threw a bonus round in our Olympics. So I think there's one in the original, but again, we kind of meshed it. But you can alter things as you see fit. You know, if there's something we need to change, these are all built off of best practices. So I don't want you to take it out and put it away, but see where in the membership Olympics you can throw that in. See if it's something that you can incorporate into one of the games. I personally, I'm reading your deal right now. I'm not aware of it at the moment, but I don't see why something like that couldn't be incorporated into any of the games.
Wonderful. And immediate past district governor Carol Bernhard, who just had a very successful year in Iowa, wants to know how you can share. Can you share what you use to keep track of the metrics and who's winning and those kind of things?
Yeah, sure. So, and I could probably find it here. I've literally just got an Excel sheet, and I have all of the games on the x-axis, and I've got all my clubs on the y-axis. So as we go through the year and as I'm in contact with these clubs, I literally go through and I check these things off. So that's how we keep track of the games as I'm going. If you know, depending on how communication goes, whether or not clubs wanted to know if something qualifies as taking care of this game or this task, you know, there's room for notes. I think Excel would be what I would suggest to you, but yeah, something like that, I can absolutely share it. It's super simple. It's literally just an X, Y, a chart. I keep it all in one place, and I can write notes and keep everything in one place as I need to.
And now Carol has just become the district membership chair. Would it be a different answer if you're doing it for the district than a club?
I would probably tell you no. I guess it depends how you look at it. So district level, club level, if we're talking about membership chair level, no, I think you can have the same thing. It's just, it's going to look a little different than mine is as the district membership chairs. I'm keeping track with all the clubs.
So with 10 minutes left, we're going to move into questions for the panel. RC, Alex, do you want to run that section?
Thank you, Tom. Let's give our amazing host, who's been silent, let's get Lloyd to run this part. He probably ran away from his screen. He didn't know we were going to do this.
Well,
See?
you've done a great job answering questions as we go and typing answers in.
Lloyd, so do you want to
Yeah,
handle these remaining Q&A questions verbally and get more from the crowd?
yeah, let's where are the Q&A questions? Could you tell us?
You want me to read them to you?
No, I have the new Zoom here.
Oh, yeah, click that button. It's got the red three.
Yeah, okay. One says, Alex, you are absolutely correct. You got to put your whole heart into Rotary for it to work. Once in a while, someone comes into itself about service, and they have not figured it out yet. Service above self. When one goes out and helps someone, we end up helping ourselves too. The gift is in the giving. For me, it's to keep me humble, keep my priorities straight, keep me accountable, and keep me safe. I feel very blessed to know that that I have become to know within Rotary. So this is the person who's talking about how important service is, and they're commending you, Alex, for making that comment about service, how important it is.
Well, I'll agree with that, especially their final statement. You know, I think all of us can say we've developed best friends through Rotary because these are people that have the same interest. We all want to help the community. We want to do the right thing, follow the four-way test. Zach talked about that a lot, service above self. So when you find people that want to change the world like you do, how can you help but not become best friends with them? So I don't know who that anonymous attendee is, but totally agree with you.
Yeah, we have another one here. He said, I found out today I only knew one. I have been in Rotary for over 4 years, but the one I knew of had been a member for 24 years. She was a wonderful person and did a lot of service projects. My club does not do enough. More focus on important guest speakers. I'm only at this new club 1 year. I come from out of the state. She left to go to a new club, personality clashes, not enough service projects, focus on, and unfortunately letting a few new people in that were not properly vetted. That's a reason why. I don't know why. I don't know about the other 50, but I suspect some had some reasons why their tone has changed. Apparently, this was the question where I believe someone lost over 50 members during the
Yes, and I had put a response in there, for all clubs here. When it comes to November, December, and then we have May, June, that's when the billing comes. And that's when we experience our largest drop off, a good 10% of the members. Well, the easy way of solving that is make sure you're in communication with all your members. People leave because they feel left out. They don't feel wanted. If we just talk to the people that show up at the meetings, well, they're probably the ones that weren't going to leave. It's the ones that aren't showing up at the meetings, that aren't showing up at the service projects. Those are the ones that you need to talk to. And that doesn't mean send an email. It means call them, find out how they're doing. They might have been sick. Nobody in the club talked to them, so they quit. They're like, hey, these aren't my friends. That's the biggest reason why people leave, because they don't feel that they're wanted. So when we move up into this next billing period, which is November, December, you got to start calling all your members, not just the ones you sit at the table with or your best friends. Call the ones you don't know, and that's going to keep them from leaving.
And I have an addition to that too. Don't start that late. Do it monthly. When you know that some people are not showing up, give them a call or actually go see them personally too. They'll really appreciate it, because I'm sure around billing time, they're making a decision in their mind. What's the value of this club to me? People don't care about me. The only time they care about me is when I have to sign a check. So Tom, look like you're about to say something.
Well, we only have 5 minutes left. So we're going to go to closing comments and have every panelist give a comment. But Rebecca Hardy asked a good question about are we supposed to mirror the membership Olympics with the actual Olympics? And typically the membership Olympics go for the whole year, but Rebecca, that's a wonderful idea. Why don't we start advertising the membership Olympics during the upcoming Olympics? That would be great. And we'll start with Christy because she had her hand up for
I
closing.
did because I was thinking about something. I thought, doggone, I didn't say that. And you would, if you looked at my notes, you would see why, because you can't read them. I can't even read them. Anyway, I'm going to talk a little bit about incentives. You can do stuff that is not expensive. One of the things that we've talked about doing is buying enough four-way test coins this year to give out one to a member as soon as they show up at a service project this year. So if you show up at a service project, you're going to get a challenge coin. If you show up at a second one, we'll give you another one, and you can give it to someone and invite them to come to Rotary. So those are not expensive things. A bumper sticker, just something. We gave incentives. We gave out $25 gift cards because we did a challenge one month, and everybody who brought a new member got their ticket in a jar, and we pulled a ticket out at the end, and that person won a $25 gift card, just a MasterCard or Visa. I mean, those are little things that you can do to keep the excitement going. And I just think that's so important. And that's one of the things I know we're going to work on more this year, in spite of, like I said, we did okay last year, but we still want to keep doing more.
That's wonderful. Thank you, Christy. Aaron, do you have a closing comment or two?
I think everyone covered them. I was actually typing out a response to that last question, and then you took it over, so I just deleted everything. But nope, I think everyone covered everything that I was going to say.
Great. Lloyd, do you have any closing comment or comments?
We only have a couple minutes, so it's almost impossible for me to say what I have to say in a couple minutes. But one of the things I do want to point out too is that what people may not know is that Alex is going to be sort of stepping back a little bit from the webinar. He'll still be around, and we still will be knocking on his door for things, but I want to thank him for his leadership and the things he's done so far for the webinar, getting this up and going, and being the type of webinar that's routinely seeing 100 to 150 people attend. So I think that's extremely important, and it indicates the type of impact that we're having with membership with our webinar. I like to think the webinar is a great example of the Rotary Action Plan. Actually getting people engaged, we're being flexible, and we're having impact. So that's extremely important. So Alex, thank you. And don't worry, don't think you're not disappearing. We will be knocking on your door. So thanks again for your leadership. And he's muted, so which is great. Okay.
So Tom, want me to close it?
Sure, go ahead.
In closing comments, I want to say I just uploaded again the Club Gold membership plan. That's if your district is not deploying the Olympics as a district competition, your club can still do it. This is really a club activity. As Christy said, it's something the district can help. Be excited. But if you want your club to be successful, download that PDF Club Gold membership plan. It's the best practices for the Membership Olympics. Now, I also uploaded the Membership Olympics. That's if it happens at the district level. They're almost the same thing. Just the Olympics is at the district level, so all the clubs can be involved. The Club Gold membership plan is for a club to just do it, whether or not your district is doing it or not. Because our goal here is to get the clubs involved in membership. Membership starts and ends with the clubs, and the members are who get it done. So if your district isn't doing a Membership Olympics, that's fine. You can still be successful. Do all the activities in there, and you're going to have a great year. And that's a proven fact. We're not even theorizing.
That is wonderful. This has been such a great night. It's great to see so many friends on this webinar. And please tune in next month and go out there and grow Rotary and just be a good Rotarian. Thank you.